Hey guys, how's it going? This is Mike from M&R Automotive. Today we have a Subaru Ascent and we've installed a 30-inch Pro Series light bar. It offers powerful white light as well as amber DRL. So in order for us to remove the front fascia off the Subaru Ascent, we have to get all the push pins out from the top, from the bottom, and there's actually some on the sides as well. So let me show you how to get that done. So to get these push pins up, you just pry these up and you can take them out. You have a little pry tool. Prop this up. Take it out. There we go. So now that we got the 6 push pins on top, we can actually take out 2 of these, one on each side. That's in the corner, so lift it up and pull it out. Lift it up and pull it out. All right, so now we're gonna remove all the push pins that are holding the bottom across the whole front lip. So there's one more push pin on each side where the fender meets the bumper. So it's actually here and it's pointing up. See, take that out. And this allows us to separate the bumper from the fender. Then you just kind of pull on it to unclip all these clips. So same thing like on the driver's side. We'll just get a prying tool and take it out. Now with this removed, we can pull on the bumper and unclip this whole side. So just a quick summary, we removed 8 push pins on top, 9 push pins on the bottom, and 1 on each side around the fender. So now let's go ahead and unclip. We already started on the edges, so we can work our way towards the center. There it is. So now that we have the front end off, let's go ahead and install the M&R light bar. You get the 30-inch Pro Series light bar, you get the mounting brackets, and you get the mounting hardware. Driver's side and passenger side brackets. I'm gonna go ahead and take them out. I'm gonna install it onto the light bar using the supplied hardware. Use the black bolts and attach them through the bracket into the sides of the light bar. So the light bars do have a small rail here, so you can adjust the height of the light bar. And of course, with all of our brackets, they are going to be powder coated black on the final product. These are just prototype brackets. So if you look underneath here, there's 2 tabs, and those are the mounting points that we're gonna use for the M&R brackets. So I'm gonna feed the mounting hardware through the bracket, make sure that the M&R bracket is in front of that factory tab. And I'm gonna feed a bolt and install a nut. All right, so now we're gonna do the same thing on the passenger side. Make sure that the bracket goes in front of the tab. So now there is a rail here, so you wanna make sure that it's nice and centered. And what I usually use is the center of the light bar. There's two bolts here, and you just wanna align them with the center cross member. And this is gonna be the location. So now we can tighten the nuts. Awesome. So now let's get to the wiring. So now I'm gonna go ahead and route this wire up the headlight, under the headlight, and it'll come out in the engine bay. Underneath the headlight, and it'll come out in the engine bay. So now that we got the wire in the engine bay, because the vehicle doesn't have any type of factory auxiliary switches, we're gonna actually use the M&R wireless wiring harness and connect both features of the Pro Series light bar to them, so that way you can control them with a wireless remote. Let me show you how to assemble the M&R wireless wiring harness and how to wire the light bar into it. You get your operation manual, you get your stickers for the wireless remote. There's a remote, there's the actual controller, a magnetic pad for the remote. You use the 3M tape to put this pad in somewhere inside the cab, and then it'll just stick and then create a base for the remote. You get some mounting zip ties, and we get a bag of hardware. You get a master fuse, and this is 100 amp. You get a fuse holder, and when you take the cover off, that's where we're gonna connect the master power wire. So let's go ahead and connect the fuse. I'm gonna go ahead and unscrew these 2 bolts. Take off the top washer. I'm gonna go ahead and slide the fuse here. And we're gonna also connect the 2 terminals. So inside the baggie you get 2 red wires. This is gonna be our power wires. You get a ground wire. Also get an ACC wire. It's an optional feature. We're actually not gonna use this ACC wire for this project because the fuse size is different, so we're gonna put it away. So now that we're installing the master fuse for the fuse box, we're gonna go ahead and connect the 2 power wires, one on each side. We're gonna use the washer and the nut that we previously removed. On the second end, we do the same thing. We're gonna connect the terminal. We're gonna put a washer a lock washer and a nut. One end inside the box, one end to the battery, and there's a fuse in the middle. So let me show you how to connect this wire into this box. Let's go ahead and take off the 4 bolts. And if you look inside, there's a battery plus and a battery minus tag. So the red wire is going to go to the battery plus. We're going to unscrew this. I'm going to slide the terminal underneath it like that, and we can tighten it. Now that the positive is ready, we're going to do the same thing for the ground. It's a small terminal here. So now we have this unit assembled. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and use this bolt here. I'm going to loosen it, slide the terminal under, and retighten it. So now that we have the red, let's go ahead and ground the black. We also need one more ground for the light bar. So might as well do it in one single step. And it's probably a good idea to go over the wires on a light bar. So you have the black wire, which is the ground. That's the one that needs to be grounded, preferably at the same time with the ground of the module. You have the red wire, which is the positive for the main function of the light. In this case, it's going to be the powerful white light. And then we have the white wire, which is the amber DRL. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put a crimp connector, it's an eyelid, to ground the light bar. We're going to use the negative terminal of the battery to ground our wires. Okay, I'm going to take off this 10mm nut. I'm going to go ahead and put the eyelid, and then I'm going to also use this terminal for the wireless harness. I'm going to reinstall that nut, and I'm going to tighten it. Okay. Now you can see there's a little green light, and it shows that you have power going to the module and it's grounded properly. So now what's left for us to do is just to connect the 2 power cables, the red and the white cable, to the module. So we're going to use switch number 1 to power the white light, and switch number 5 to power the amber DRL. You could choose any switch that you want. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to feed the wire underneath. The first terminal, which is the powerful white light, I'm going to feed the red cable and tighten it. And for switch number 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And for the 5th terminal, I'm going to power the white wire, which is the amber DRL. The wireless wiring harness comes with zip ties, and there's loops on the body of it, so you can use zip ties to mount it stationary. After observing the engine bay, you can either use this metal plate or this rod here and just zip tie the module onto it, so that way just keep it stationary and not make it move. Let's go ahead and test the light bar, see if our connections are proper. So let's take a look at the remote. When you press the power button, switch number 5 is going to be the amber DRL, which is the amber backglow, and then switch number 1 is going to be the powerful white light. So now that we see that everything's wired properly, we're going to go ahead and use some zip ties, secure the cables, secure the wireless controller, and put back the vehicle together. Thank you guys for watching. I know you guys are going to love the product, and please stay tuned for our night output video.